The internet is exploding, and for the first time in his career, the king of trolls might have actually silenced the Prince of Atlanta with a single frame of film. Hollywood is whispering, and the streets of the South are vibrating with a tension that suggests something darker may be unfolding behind the closed doors of the music industry's elite. What started as a simple rumor of a petty Instagram feud may now be something much bigger. A culture-shaking exposure that could dismantle one of hip-hop's most powerful legacies. According to online speculation, the legendary Curtis, 50 Cent, Jackson, has reportedly finished a vault-clearing documentary that doesn't just target his rivals, it incinerates them. Some insiders claim that a private screening took place earlier this week, and the fallout has been instantaneous. Unverified reports suggest that King Harris, the outspoken son of T.I., was shown a snippet of this footage, and the reaction was nothing short of a total emotional collapse. Fans believe that what King saw was a side of his father, or perhaps a moment from their family's past, that was never meant to see the light of day. Something shifted the moment the cameras stopped rolling. We've seen King Harris crash out before, but this is different. This isn't anger, it's a haunting, hollow silence that has the entire industry on edge. As the rumors of surviving T.I. Tiny gain traction, one question hangs over the digital landscape. Did 50 Cent just drop the ultimate nuclear option? Or is this the beginning of a generational war that no one, not even the Teflon Don of Queens, can survive? To understand why a simple video could bring a young mogul in the making to his knees, you have to understand the two worlds that just collided. On one side, you have the King of the South, T.I., and his son, King Harris. For over 2 decades, T.I. has sat on a throne built on trap music and a reputation for being the most articulate, strategic, and street-hardened philosopher in the game. The Harris family was presented to the world as the Black Brady Bunch of hip-hop, a tight-knit, affluent, and morally guided dynasty. Things appeared perfect on the surface for years. We watched them on The Family Hustle, seeing a father who preached discipline and a son who seemed eager to follow in those legendary footsteps. King Harris grew up in the lap of luxury, but he always carried a chip on his shoulder, a desperate need to prove he was just as outside as his father once was. He became the family's frontline soldier, often taking to social media to defend his parents' honor with a ferocity that bordered on the reckless. On the other side stands 50 Cent. His public image is that of a titanium-plated titan who turned 9 bullets and a tragic childhood into a multi-billion-dollar media empire. 50 doesn't just win feuds, he erases people. From Ja Rule to Rick Ross, his track record for career termination is legendary. But for years, 50 and T.I. existed in a state of mutual, if shaky, respect. They were the two titans of the 2000s, the masters of their respective regions. However, slowly but surely, cracks began to form in this rap diplomacy. The tension started with a proposed versus battle that never materialized, but it turned personal when 50 Cent began his trademark, trolling campaign. 50 started posting photos of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, making jokes that many felt were a direct violation of the no family rule in rap. T.I. tried to remain the bigger man, but King Harris didn't have his father's patience. The younger Harris reportedly felt he had to protect his mother's name, leading to a series of explosive social media rants, where he allegedly told 50 Cent to go dig up his dead mom. It was a move that shocked the industry. You don't bring up Sabrina Jackson to 50 Cent. You don't play with the one person who gave him the drive to survive the streets of Queens. But 50 didn't respond with a diss track. He didn't even respond with his usual memes. Instead, reports began to surface that he was pivoting. He wasn't going to fight a 21-year-old on Instagram, he was going to use his massive production company, G-Unit Films, to tell a story. The industry whispers grew louder. 50 was producing a documentary. Not just a documentary about himself, but an expose on the very people who had dared to mention his mother. The perfect image of the Harris family was about to face the ultimate auditor, and King Harris was the first one to see the ledger. The escalation didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, agonizing burn fueled by alleged leaks and fan theories that spread like wildfire across Discord and Twitter. Claims began to circulate that 50 Cent had acquired a massive library of lost footage from the early days of T.I.'s career, footage that reportedly contained conversations and interactions that contradicted the King of the South persona. Reportedly, 50 Cent had been quietly interviewing former associates, people who felt wronged by the Harris empire over the last 20 years. No confirmed evidence was ever presented to the public, but the mere suggestion was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. Some fans think that 50 wasn't just looking for tea, he was looking for a way to show King Harris exactly who his father was before the fame, the suits, and the multisyllabic vocabulary. The social media reactions were a battlefield of their own. Every time 50 posted a cryptic, coming soon teaser for his G-Unit film division, the comments were flooded with people asking if the T.I. tapes were real. According to unverified reports, King Harris was receiving DMs from anonymous accounts claiming to have seen the footage. These accounts alleged that the documentary featured T.I. in compromising situations that would permanently damage his legacy. Industry whispers suggested that T.I. was attempting to block the release legally, but 50 Cent, a man who has navigated the legal systems of the world's biggest corporations, seemed unfazed. The rumors reached a fever pitch when a 10-second leak appeared on a burner YouTube account. The clip was grainy, showing a man who looked like a young T.I. in a heated argument with a woman whose voice was distorted. The video was scrubbed within minutes, but the damage was done. Some fans believe this was the moment King Harris truly lost his cool. He reportedly went on a live stream, visibly agitated, claiming that old men are trying to rewrite history, and that nobody is scared of a movie. But behind the bravado, the cracks were showing. He wasn't just defending his mother anymore, he was defending the very foundation of his identity. The speculation grew into a monster. Was there really a surviving T.I. project? Was 50 Cent actually going to use his platform to dismantle a peer? Reportedly, several major streaming platforms were in a bidding war for the rights, which only added to the sense of impending doom for the Harris camp. The digital smoke was so thick that no one could see the truth, but everyone could feel the heat. The industry sat back and watched as the two camps prepared for a collision that seemed inevitable. There was no room for rap bars here. This was about public perception, family secrets, and a documentary that promised to change everything. And in the middle of it all was King, a young man who had grown up in a reality show, now facing a reality he couldn't control. Then came the night the internet stopped breathing. A viral live stream moment, captured by thousands of screen recorders, showed King Harris in a state that many are calling a total psychological breakdown. It started as a typical rant, but something was different. King wasn't looking at the camera, he was looking off to the side, his eyes red and his voice cracking in a way we've never heard. According to those who were watching in real time, King had just reportedly seen a long-form teaser of the documentary. He didn't describe it, but he didn't have to. The look on his face said everything. He began a disjointed, cryptic speech about loyalty and the things sons shouldn't have to see. He reportedly shouted at his viewers, asking them, "Do you know what it's like to have your whole life be a lie?" A cryptic social media post followed shortly after. A black square with no caption, followed by a series of deleted tweets that read like a cry for help. One tweet, which was only up for 30 seconds, allegedly said, "I thought he was a king. I thought we were safe." This sent fan reactions trending globally. The hashtag #SaveKingHarris began to compete with #50Cent documentary, as the public's thirst for drama was suddenly met with the very real image of a young man's world collapsing. The tension in the live stream was suffocating. King reportedly started pacing his room, talking to someone off camera, arguing about what the footage showed. He seemed obsessed with a specific moment in the alleged film, a moment involving his father and a third party that changed his entire perspective on his family's history. Fans in the comments were pleading with him to turn off the stream, but he couldn't stop. He was trapped in a digital loop of his own trauma. Some fans believe that King was baited by 50 Cent's team, sent a specific clip just to see him react this way. If that was the case, the plan worked with surgical precision. The tough guy persona that King had cultivated for years was gone, replaced by a 21-year-old who looked like he had just seen a ghost. Reports surfaced later that night that family members had to intervene and take his phone. The silence that followed was even more deafening than the rant. The Prince of Atlanta had been unmasked, not by a rival's words, but by his own reaction to a truth he wasn't prepared to handle. The internet wasn't laughing anymore. It was witnessing the raw, unfiltered aftermath of a family's private history being turned into public entertainment. As the news of King's breakdown and the existence of the 50 Cent tapes spread, the industry's reaction was a chilling study in survival. Brands that had long been associated with the Harris family, luxury fashion houses, liquor brands, and local Atlanta businesses, suddenly went silent. There were no press releases, no statements of support. Just a void. Public figures, who were normally the first to comment on rap beefs, began posting cryptic quotes about the weight of the crown and choosing your battles wisely. It was an observation, not an accusation, but the message was clear. No one wanted to be on the wrong side of 50 Cent's lens. The unfollows began to stack up. Insiders noted that several high-profile producers and artists who had recently worked with T.I. were quietly distancing themselves from the family's social media pages. The media silence from the major hip-hop outlets was perhaps the most telling sign. Normally, a story this big would be the lead on every blog, but there was a sense of hesitation. It was as if everyone was waiting to see just how much 50 Cent actually had. You don't want to defend a legacy that is about to be systematically dismantled on a global streaming platform. Frame-by-frame analysis of King's breakdown became the new content for T channels, but the major players stayed back. There were reports that several peace summits were attempted by Atlanta elders, trying to get 50 Cent to pull the plug on the documentary for the sake of the culture. But 50, true to his get-rich-or-die-trying spirit, reportedly turned them all down. He wasn't just making a movie, he was finishing a war. The industry's reaction felt like a funeral before the death had even occurred. The Harris family, once the untouchable royalty of the South, was suddenly being viewed through a lens of pity rather than power. Speculation grew that 50 had flipped people close to the family, turning former allies into witnesses for his documentary. The fear in the industry wasn't just for T.I., it was for anyone who had ever been in a room with him. If 50 could do this to the king, who was safe? But then, something happened that no one, not even the most cynical fan, saw coming. A dramatic shift occurred when a new voice entered the conversation. A resurfaced clip from an old, deleted G-Unit vlog from 2005 began to circulate. In the clip, a young 50 Cent is actually seen defending T.I. during a minor legal hurdle, calling him one of the real ones. This clip changed the entire narrative. If 50 Cent once respected T.I. this much, what happened to turn that respect into a scorched earth documentary? The internet began to dig deeper, and a new theory emerged. 50 Cent wasn't the one who started the documentary. According to unverified claims from a former G-Unit associate, the project actually started as a tribute to Southern hip-hop, until someone from the Harris camp reportedly tried to sabotage 50's business interests in Atlanta. The twist got even deeper. A resurfaced clip of Tiny Harris from a 2024 interview was re-examined, where she spoke about shadowy figures trying to buy up the rights to their life stories. Fans began to wonder, is 50 Cent actually the bad guy? Or is he simply the one who ended up with the footage that someone else was trying to use against the family? Then, a new voice entered the fray. An anonymous whistleblower, claiming to be a former editor for G-Unit Films, leaked a memo. The memo suggested that the shocking footage King Harris saw wasn't actually of his father doing something wrong. It was footage of someone else betraying his father. The theory began to spread that King didn't break down because his father was exposed, but because he realized that his family's inner circle was filled with snakes. This changed everything. Suddenly, 50 Cent wasn't the villain, he was the one holding the mirror. The breakdown King Harris suffered wasn't an admission of his father's guilt, but a realization that the war they were fighting on the internet was a distraction from the real war happening in their own backyard. The speculation shifted from what did T.I. do, to who sold T.I. out. The dramatic shift in tone left the audience reeling. Was the documentary a weapon of destruction, or a twisted form of tough love from a man who knows better than anyone what happens when you trust the wrong people? The mystery of the footage remains unsolved, but the narrative has been flipped on its head. As we sit in the wake of this digital explosion, we are left staring into the abyss of celebrity culture. Is this the end of the Harris legacy, or just the beginning of a much darker, more complex chapter in hip-hop history? Did King Harris see the end of his father's career, or did he see the faces of the people who were truly trying to take them down? What started as a simple rumor has become a generational saga of power, betrayal, and the terrifying reach of digital media. Was it all a masterfully played strategy by 50 Cent to secure the highest bidder for his project? Or was it a genuine moment of emotional devastation for a son who finally saw the truth? The documentary is still coming soon, but the damage is already here. The Prince of Atlanta is silent. The King of the South is in the shadows. And the King of Queens is holding the remote. What do you think was in that footage? Was it a betrayal from within, or a secret that was never meant to be told? Is 50 Cent a predator, or a protector of the truth? Let us know in the comments below. This story is evolving by the hour, and in the world of 50 Cent, the only thing you can be sure of is that nothing is as it seems. Is this the end of an era, or just the opening scene of the final act? Don't forget to like and subscribe, as we wait for the footage that could change everything. Is it over, or is it just getting started?